Welcome to the Salesforce Marketing Cloud. In this demonstration, we're going to show how to do some segmentation, to build an email, test that email, send the email to the segment we created, and then also view some tracking results. So let's dig in. So segmentation. There's a few different ways to do segmentation within the Marketing Cloud. Segmentation revolves around maybe segmenting from a master subscriber list, or segmenting, doing some complex and sophisticated segmentation around relational data that surrounds the subscriber or customer. And also, if you really want to have some fun, you could use queries, SQL queries, to do some segmentation as well. But in this example here, we're going to just look at our master subscriber list, and we want to retrieve or segment out all the people that have opted in to receive event information. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to come up into our filter feature, and I'm going to be able to look at all the fields included in my master subscriber list. And in this case, I want to filter off of the events opt-in field. So essentially, I'm just going to save and build this, and we're going to call this our Health Heart Walk segment. And we're going to drop that in our campaigns folder. And we're going to use this as our segment to send to and test. So there's about a little over 15,000 people in this segment. So now we're going to come over to our content area and build our content repository and build the email itself. Now the content repository holds email templates, either ones you create or the default templates that come with Salesforce Marketing Cloud. It holds images, HTML content blocks, dynamic content blocks, really any content piece that's associated with or going to be used in an email that you're creating. So in this use case here, we're going to go into create an email, and I'm going to use a template, a paste HTML template that I dropped into Marketing Cloud called the Makana Responsive Purple template. I'm going to select that, and we're going to start to build out our campaign. And I'm going to add this to the Heartwalk campaign, kind of a consolidated view of all the assets associated with this particular campaign we're creating. And I'm going to go into the canvas, and I'm going to start to build out the email. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select that Heartwalk segment to start to personalize the email itself. So here's that Health Heartwalk segment, and we're just going to be able to now look into that segment and see all the available data points I can use for personalization or to drive dynamic content within the email. So we'll just say sign up for the Health Heartwalk, and we'll save that. Now I can start to build content on the fly, so I can drag in button components and freeform text or HTML blocks and start to populate those either by pasting in content or just building it within the canvas itself. In this case, I'm going to start with some content that I have available to me that's already been built by my digital asset creation team. So we're going to drag in this little hero image, which is actually just a piece of HTML content. We're also going to drag in the body of the email, which again is HTML. And then I'm also going to add an image at the bottom, this little banner image that talks more about the actual Health Heartwalk itself. And then I will use a block to add a button in here to sign up for the Heartwalk itself. So we'll just say register, and then I can add a link to it if I'd like to. We'll just do makana.com/register. And then we're going to go ahead and start to preview and test the email itself. And we're going to use that same Health Heartwalk segment to do our testing. So here it is, and it's going to show me a list of the subscribers in there. So I select that list, and I can just start to thumb through it and see the personalization just to make sure it matches up with the subscriber record. So for example, Johnny signed up for the Health Heart Walk. Hi, Johnny, in the body of the email. And the left-hand side, it shows me all the field values associated with Johnny in that segmented list we created. And I can see here that, in fact, the events opt-in is set to true, so we're in good shape. Now I can start to thumb through those records. I can start to actually send out test emails that replicate the personalization that's showing inside the email we're seeing on the screen. And then I can also test with Litmus. So if you do have a Litmus Enterprise account, you can start to render these out on various email clients on mobile, desktop, and web devices or clients. All right, so normally I would have a send button here, but I do have the approval process turned on inside my account. Now this is an optional approval process that you can use if you'd like to. So I'm going to just be the submitter and approver all in one step here. But typically I would receive an email, or the approver would see an email, and they could jump into the Salesforce Marketing Cloud and interact with the approval process functionality built into the Marketing Cloud itself. So it's pending approval, but since I am the approver, I'm going to go ahead and just approve that. And now this is going to open up the send button for me to leverage. So there we go. Now I can send it. And I go through the process of defining some additional properties for the send. So what send classification am I going to use? We're going to use the default commercial one. I'm then going to select my audience, which is going to be the Health Heart Walk segment we created. And then I'm going to configure the delivery options. We're going to send this out immediately, and we can also set some options for tracking as well. So we're going to now send the email immediately, and it's going to go to a little over 15,000 people. And once we do that, we get a message saying the email was successfully sent, and it's going to be scheduled and sent out immediately. It might take a few moments to send that out. But now I can come into the tracking component of the platform and start to view the a summary of information revolving around that send. So here you can see that it's already been sent out to 1,400 people. It's indicating that the send is in progress. So I could jump into here to see some stats immediately. I may or may not get, actually we're starting to see some open and click information here. So let's go back to a full report or full tracking view of a previous send, since that one's still sending. This is the same email or a similar email. And as a marketer, I can come in here and view the summary information of how many people it went to, what was the list it went to, some inbox activity around opens and clicks, as well as the delivery rate. Are there any bounce issues that we have? How many people was it actually delivered to? And then I also can understand the open performance and I have a list of unengaged subscribers as well, so I can understand how many people are not opening or clicking versus the total number delivered. Additionally, I can see a kind of a heat map of the email itself, which shows me what the email looks like and where people are clicking. So I can understand, are they clicking on my calls to action? If they're not, maybe I need to redesign the email where I move the calls to action above the fold and so forth. So that is a quick look into how we do some segmentation, use that segmented list to, create an email, test the email against that segmented list, and actually do our send, and view some of the tracking results associated with that send we've just completed.